Hello and welcome back to Taiji. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm actually gonna go, and probably spend this entire episode, go back and resolve most of the puzzles I did last time, because while editing I did pick up on a few things and then I actually went back into the game and just kinda sat through and try to work out most of these, and yeah, I've come up with like 100% logical solutions for most of the ones that I just kind of winged, and let me just be clear, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing what I did last time. I don't think that was like a mistake or anything. You don't have to be 100% logical when solving puzzles in any game. Making like educated guesses, seeing that they're wrong, and then adjusting accordingly, that's like the basis for pretty much all puzzle solving. But I do find that these puzzles, when you can be 100% consistent and logical, and again, comparing it to Hexels and Sudoku and things like that, I do find that a bit more satisfying, and I found these very interesting once I actually worked that out. Some of them are pretty complicated though, to the point where, yeah, it is much easier to just kind of guess a little bit and then you reach a solution, but I'm still gonna go through it, so let's just like redo a bunch of puzzles, and we'll see if I remember all the solutions. I have like practiced a little bit, so it's a bit of a different thing from the normal LP, but let's just start. So this puzzle, I don't remember exactly which ones I did or didn't like guess on in that sense, but I've just unmarked a few and reset them, the ones that I want to resolve. So again, this is probably just going to be essentially a bonus episode. Nothing new here, but I just find this type of thinking much more interesting. So let's start. We know these tiles can't be in the same group as the whites, so they have to be marked black, like so. We also know there's no other black-purple tile, or I really should say unmarked, I guess, marked and unmarked, not black and white, because, I mean, sure, it's black and white in that sense, but then you have white tiles, like, this is a white tile, a marked white tile, makes more sense, this is an unmarked white tile. So the unmarked purple groups can't be in the same group as the marked purple groups, so we have to cut these off, the single tiles. And this teal tile can't join up to anything else, so it also has to be cut off, like so. And this white tile obviously can't join up to this group, this one can't join up to these tiles, so that's all well and good to start. At this point, we now have these confirmed black tiles, which means this 4, even if it uses this tile, still only has 2 tiles and would have to go here and here, which gives it 5 tiles, so we can't add in this tile. The only way to have 4 tiles for this group is to use these tiles, making it a 4 group. Like, eventually it has to go out here anyway. And we can't join in this 3 because it's now cut off and it can't, like, go all the way around. So we get this 4 group, it has to be separate from this 3, so we cut it off like so. And because we've done that now, this 3 group can no longer be black, because then it's in a 5 group. So now that we know this has to be white, and has to go down here, and has to go here, and then be cut off. This 5 group here, unmarked, has 2 tiles, has to go here, get 3 and 4, has to go here and get 5, and then be cut off, because there's no other unmarked white group. Now here, this is a little bit of a tricky thing. Like, I guess the easiest way is just look at this tile. If we were to add this tile in, then we get 5 tiles in this group, which means we also have to join it into this group in order to save it, in that sense. But to do that, we need to spend 3 more tiles, which gives it 9 in total. So, all in all, this tile can't be marked white, we have to mark it black, which means we have 2 tiles here, we go up to 3 and 4, which now gives it 5 tiles, and again, we have to make use of this group to, like, save it. And we can do that in 2 tiles, which then adds up to 8 tiles total. And there you go. The puzzle is solved. So that's a bit better than just making some educated guesses. On this one, we can start by cutting off these tiles, and obviously marking these black, and this one has to be white, because it can't be in the same group as this. We did this before. This yellow tile, yellow 3, cannot be white, because if it's white, then it would have to go up here and join up to this group. So it has to be black, and has to go up here. We still don't know exactly if it can, like, join up to this group, so we can't mark this tile anything. but this one has to go up here, joins up to this tile, and we have 3 out of 4 tiles in this group so far. This 2 has to go here, and then there's no way for this tile to reach this group, and all of the other ones are black or unmarked, so it has to be on its own, and we have to cut these off. Here we have 7 tiles, with already 3 tiles marked, and it obviously can't be in the same group as this tile, so the only tiles we have available for it are these 7 tiles. So we have to mark them and cut it off from the other one. So now this 2 teal tile has to go here, joins up to this tile, so we have 3 out of 4, and it has to go over here and then be completed. We don't have to cut it off, but we do, but like we can also just look at this tile, which then has to go here, cutting off this group, so it's not like it's... I mean, it wouldn't be possible to like connect these up anyway, so yeah, we know this one is black. And this tile, this 2 group, now has 3 tiles, which means this tile cannot be white. If it's white, I mean, would join up to these as well, but we need to make use of these tiles in order to like save this 2 group. And at this point, this group has to go here, cutting off this group, and then we have 5 tiles in this 2 and 3 group. So, there we go. Let's move on to this one, which was a whole lot bigger. But this one is actually pretty complicated, like once we get up to this top section, I find. There's some really weird stuff to look at, like you kind of have to just do the whole Sudoku thing where you like test things, or Hexel's thing, like Hexel's hard mode, where you test a thing, like, okay, what happens if this tile is white? This and this and this happens, and then you get a conflict, and then you backpedal the entire way and confirm that it's black, or so on. But to start, we do everything we did before, mark all of the black tiles that are guaranteed black. This one now has to be guaranteed white, and has to go up here. And there's no other marked black group that could reach these tiles. This one can't reach it, and I mean we can just do that we did before as well. So we can't add this one in, or we have too many tiles and there's no other tile that can reach them, so they have to be completely cut off, and this one has to be completely cut off. This tile can't join up to this group, so that has to also be cut off, and there's no way for this unmarked white group to like get all the way down to this one. And now, because I have this tile marked, this is where like you don't have to just assume anything about this stuff, because here, this black unmarked group can't join up to here. This tile can't be unmarked, because then we join up these 2 groups. And same for this one, so both of these tiles have to be white, which then means this is the only tile for this black 3 to go to. And at that point, it can't join up to any other unmarked black group, so we have to cut it off. We now just conveniently have exactly 7 tiles here, so this one's just done. While this one has to go up, we have 3 tiles, 4 tiles, we have to add in 5, which means this is the only tile for this 3, and the 3 can't be joined up by any other white 3 group, so, or a white marked group, in a sense. So we have to cut these 2 tiles off, and then we get the 7 tiles necessary here. Now this one goes up here, and this white tile can't use this one, or we get 4, so this tile has to be marked black. But now is where it's kind of tricky. This one also has to go down, right, yeah, this one has to go down here, this one is on its own, so we have to mark these tiles to separate it, and this 4 has to go over here. Here's where it gets a little complicated. First off, I find that it's easier to look at this tile. If we were to not use this tile for the 4, what happens then? The 4 would have to go down here, which means this black 7, or unmarked 7, would have to go 2 and 3, which means the 4 has to go here, and then be cut off, like so. And then the 6, which only has 2 tiles, the marked 6, would have to go 3, 4, and 5, and now it's cut off this, well, it's joined up to the white 3 as well, and it's cut off this group, so that's not possible. So all of that, you can just know that this tile has to be marked white. And that completes this group, and we cut it off. And now it's still kind of complicated. Now, if we look at this black 3 group, if we look at either of these cases, where it either has to use this tile, or it has to use this one, in either case, if we mark this one black, this teal white group, teal marked group, has only 2 tiles, and would have to go 3, 4, 5, and then one of these. So these two are the like notable tiles here. If we then use this tile instead, this teal group would go to one of these or both. Let's just use both, because like that's the minimum amount of tiles it would need. It now has 4 and would still need to mark 5 and 6. So whether this one is black or this one is black, these two tiles will have to be marked white regardless for this teal group. So we can just do this for now. These two are guaranteed, these we don't know anything about. And at that point, we have the 7, the white 7 group. Well, the white unmarked 7. Jesus, we need some better terminology for this game. That has 4 tiles already, and whether this one is marked or not, we would at most have 5, so it has to go down here to 6, and then we don't know at that point. We can now know that this group, this is kind of also a bit of a stretch, that this white 3 group can't use, it has to use one of these 2 tiles, and it can't use this tile. Because if we use this tile, that means we have to unmark all of these tiles, which only leaves 4 tiles for this 5 group. So this tile has to be black, this tile will have to be white, and we cut off this one to not add in too many white tiles. And at this point, we're done with this 3 unmarked group, so this one has to be marked white. And here we have 5 tiles out of the 6 that the teal needs, so we have to add in this final tile as well. And then here we have 5 tiles marked, we have to mark 6, and then we get 7, and we have to cut these off, and that completes the 5 as well here. So there you go. No guessing, but that one is kind of difficult to see, some of those. Like, you have to think, you have to like test things out and then see that they don't work to then confirm that one of the options has to be the correct one, basically. Now this one, I did mostly correct, but let's redo it anyway. So we have this one marked, let's just mark all of the confirmed black tiles, like so. This one is confirmed white and has to go up here. And this one is confirmed black. No. This one is confirmed white and can't go past these and has to go here, and then down here, and then down here. At this point, this tile can't be black, or we get 3 in the same group, so we mark that. And now this group has to go down here, and this one has to go here. And at this point, you can actually know already that these purple tiles can't be black, because there's only 2 purple diamonds on the board, so they have to be the same. So either both of them are black, or both of them are white. And if they are black, that means we're cutting off this one on all sides, and it can't be joined up by any other yellow diamond. So they have to be white, and we get this little cluster, and that means this one has to move on to here, and then down to here. This white tile now has to go down here, this confirmed black tile has to go down here now, and we get this whole like snaking thing again, where all of these have to keep trucking along because there's no other option, since they need to link up to more tiles. And yeah, that means this one is confirmed black, this is confirmed black, this is black, this is white, this is black, this is white, this is black, this is black, this is white, this is black, and this is white, because we need to join up this teal tile together. And then finally, this one needs to join up to this black tile, and this gets marked. So it's like you just kind of snake your way across, because every step of the way there's just a guaranteed step for one of the groups, and they just fill in each other. Same as like this one that we did last time, or not last time, but earlier as well. And this one I did do mostly correct, but you can also do this one like completely logically. So to start, like I said last time, this one must be paired with this tile, because if it's not, the only one it could pair with is this one, and there's no way for both of these two to be linked up while these two aren't cut off. Because, yeah, we would have to somehow pass through these tiles, so we know that this one must be paired with this one, and this one must be paired with this one. Because of that, we now have 1 yellow tile, which means this tile can't be yellow, or we get 3 yellow tiles in this group, so that's confirmed black. And we have this one confirmed white, which means the other white diamond must be white as well. And at that point, we have this. Here's where I think I just kind of started assuming stuff, but instead, you can just look at this confirmed black diamond, which then has to go down here, has to go down here, has to go down here, and here, and here. And then it could join up to this one, but what happens if we do? If we join up to this one, then we've cut off this white tile on all sides, and it can't join up to this one. So this tile has to be confirmed white, and this one has to keep on trucking along this path. And finally, we know this tile can't be white, or we add in too many yellow diamonds there, so that has to be black. And yeah, at this point, like, this is a single diamond, yellow diamond, in a black group, which means this one also has to be in a black group. Oh, no, wait, vice versa. We already have these two together, which means this one now has to be white. And to join it up to another yellow diamond, if we were to use this tile, then we add in 4 in one group, so that is confirmed black, and the only way to do it is to use these 3 tiles. So, there you go. That's another pretty simple, like, logical one. And then finally, this one I'm not gonna do. I mean, I feel like I was mostly okay. I think there's probably a way to do it step by step, but I'm kind of fine with how I solved this one. But this one, maybe not so much. But this one is also quite difficult to actually solve completely 100% logically as well. But let's do it anyway. So, this is the key starting point. We have this black diamond as the starting point. We know that this Tetris 9, or Domino 9, has to be in the same group, whether it's white or black, as all of these other minus tiles, the negative tiles. And because of that, we know this tile can't be black, because if it is black, this one is satisfied, but we know this must eventually be in the same group as all of these other tiles, which means this diamond wouldn't work. So this one has to be confirmed white, which then confirms that all of the other tiles here have to be white as well. At that point, we know this must be black at this point, and get cut off like so, because of the flower rules. And now you can already know that some of these tiles, the black diamonds, must be black as well, and not white, or unmarked, not marked. Because if this one is marked, then again, it's in the same group as these tiles, which will eventually, well, it's already, like, wrong, but yeah, doesn't work. This one can't be in the same group as this, or it will eventually have too many symbols of the same color, so that is also marked black. And same for this one. If this were to be white, we would eventually have to pair it up with this tile, which then, in the end, won't work. So that's also marked black. Now at this point, here, since we have 2 confirmed white tiles, that means this one also has to be white, because if it's black, then we don't have 3 of the same color of it. So that has to be confirmed white. And because of that, this one can't be white, or we add it into this group, which again will then eventually have more black symbols. So this has to be confirmed black, and we get this tile completing the flower. Now again, this one can't be in the same group as this tile, so that's also confirmed black. And we can also know these 2 last ones, because now the only way for either of these to be white would be if they were paired up with each other, and the only way to pair them up would be to go through, like, these tiles, or, like, either this tile or this group. There's no way for them to join together without also being in the same group as this or this or this tile, or so on. So we get all of them confirmed black. I don't know, maybe that's like a little bit of a jump, but not really, I think. At this point, it's kind of tricky. I think the easiest thing to look at is just, like, this tile. Like, whether we use horizontal stripes or vertical stripes for these diamonds up here. If we were to make this tile white, that means this black tile must go over here, pairing up with this one, but then this yellow tile must continue down here to pair with one of these other symbols. And then we get 3 of the black diamonds in the same group, and that doesn't work. So we know that this tile has to be black, which then confirms or completes this group. We now can't have this be black, because then we get 3 in the same group. We can't have this be black, because then we get 3 in the same group. So those tiles both get confirmed white at this point. that means this has to be black so that these can pair up together. And now, here's another kind of tricky thing, I remember. This, well, not right away, but this yellow has to pair up with a marked yellow symbol somewhere, and the only way for it to do that is to go down here, and now it's paired up, so that's great. At this point, this tile can no longer be marked, because if we mark this tile, then the only way to give it 3 of the same color would be to mark these 2 as well, which then adds another yellow symbol to this diamond, which doesn't work. So this has to be black, and then these have to be black in order to satisfy the flower. Now at that point, we can look at this one as well, just it needs to go up to this tile, because it will eventually have to be in the same group as this tile, and the only way upward is here. Let me mark these as well. And now here's kind of a tricky one, I think. The easiest way for me to see this is just, well, we have this isolated group of the 9 domino with 2 negatives. We know that they eventually have to join up to all of these groups, and since we have this line cutting it off, the only tile for it to eventually join up to them through is this tile. Like, it has to pass by one of these tiles. It can't do it on this line or any of these lines. So we know this must be white, and this must be white, and this must be white, and then since this is a black group, we know this must be black, which then confirms this is white, and this is black. And then we have to keep on trucking here, go to this tile, to this tile. This black group needs another black symbol, so it has to go here, and then here, and then here, while the white group has to now go here, and then here, and then here, and here. The black goes up this way, the white goes up this way, and at this point, we can now know that this tile can't, this is also a bit of a sneaky thing, this flower can't be marked white, or marked, because if it's marked, that means that 3 out of 4 of these tiles have to be white, which means in some way it'll add in to the group that has these negative tiles, which means it would eventually need to join up to this entire group, giving an additional yellow symbol for the yellow diamond. So that is not possible, it has to be black. And because it's black now, we know this tile has to be white, because if it's black, then we add in another yellow symbol for this yellow diamond. So that has to be white, and that confirms these have to be black to fulfill the 3 same color petals on the flower. And these 2 tiles are now cut off and have to join up to this main group, so we can only do that through this tile. And these 3 have to go on here to join up to the main group, and this tile has to go right and then down to join to the main group. And there you go. Puzzle complete. Holy hell, yeah, that was more like a walkthrough than a let's play, and I certainly don't think I'm gonna be solving like every puzzle in that manner, but if I can find those, I think it is a bit more satisfying. But again, like I said at the start, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong about just kind of trying things and testing things, but it is also fun to see these logical sequences. So I'll leave it off there for today, and then next time we'll just go back to solving new puzzles, or attempting to, and yeah, soon we're gonna have to go to those like small puzzles, and those I still have no idea about. I don't know. We'll see when we get there, I suppose. And yeah, I'll try to do like proper deduction on these ones and the other puzzles in here, but I'm not gonna 100% say that I will always do that, because yeah, sometimes it just takes more time to find those solutions than to just chance it and then like tweak accordingly. So, thanks for watching. This is a walkthrough of Taiji Caves, just a little segment, nothing more. I'll see you next time.